Hello everyone, welcome. I'm Ryan, thank you for being here. This is going to be a general tarot reading for who you may be dealing with and what they're up to. Of course, everything may not resonate, so take what it does and leave the rest. And for more tarot readings after this, please check out my wife's channel, Untitled Tarot, she review as well. Thank you. And of course, I'll go ahead and leave the timestamps in the description box below in case you want to cross-reference or jump around. So, let's get started. Alright, hello Aries, let's see what's going on. Okay. Wow. Interesting. Okay, so right away, Aries, what they show me. This is quite fascinating. They're showing me like a little bit of two different energies. On one side of this, something is in the process of closing out or finishing, and it's interesting because there's like so much happiness and so much fulfillment and so much like finally something's done with, finally something's over with, even though they're kind of showing me that it's in the process still. They're guarding themselves. It's an energy of like they're kind of like containing and keeping all this to themselves, even though they do know they have to kind of like push forward and figure out what to kind of do regarding everything else. They are still kind of showing up very sharp and clear about this. Oh goodness, like night and day, like night and day. A lot of this work and effort that they are putting in towards some sort of financial endeavor here, and I feel like that's what it's mainly about. They just don't it's interesting because they just don't know exactly where it's going. It's almost the equivalent of as something is kind of beginning to close or finish, something new is beginning to open up, and they're not too sure exactly what's on either side of that. And so unfortunately, they may kind of be going through a little bit of a stressful or high anxiety time. It's almost like they felt like they had it all kind of together, and then all of a sudden it's kind of like, maybe not, maybe not. Something is very, you know, it's getting to them mentally a little bit. Okay. I feel like they got something in mind, though. Like, yeah, it's not necessarily back to the drawing board, but it's back to kind of formulating whatever this is that they want to kind of move forward towards as well as create for themselves. It feels as if they're kind of just working their way up to it. Because they do have plans in mind, whether it be through communication, whether it's contact between the two of you of some sort. I don't feel like it is. I just more so kind of feel like this is something that they got going on for themselves, but ultimately there's lots to contemplate as to what they actually truly want to do with it. Lots in mind, lots of plans, lots of ideas. Yeah, once again, lots of, goodness gracious, lots to contemplate. Lots to contemplate. They're sitting with it, and then they're sitting with it, and then they're sitting with it some more. Yeah, it's ultimately because they're wanting to choose the best direction for themselves. They're wanting to choose the best direction. They're ultimately kind of saying there are some sort of problems and issues here that they do want to address. Maybe that's yeah, they want to get to the bottom of it. They're like, well, what's going on with these problems? What's going on with these issues? Whether it's be between the two of you, whether there is some sort of, I'm going to say it, I feel like there could be some sort of third party, even possible fourth party energy in this, as well as children and kids involved somehow. Too many people in the kitchen. Too many people in the kitchen. Too many people trying to direct and kind of give orders in a sense. Too many people involved. It's like a dog pile. Yeah, literally, as Five of Swords shows up after that. Look at that. Too many people involved. Like they got something to say, they got something to say. Someone's always got something to say. Literally, here we go, Aries. Here's the synchronicities, just one after another. Everyone's got something to say. Well, there's definitely communication, though, between the two of you about this. It's very unfortunate, but yeah, once again, and it just continues, Aries. It just continues. It just continues. Too many people involved. It's like, you realize the truth about the problems. It's like, yes, it's unfortunate, and there's more talk and communication about it, and then it's like there's more problems being brought back up. I don't know what that's about, but it's almost like, yeah, and it's to the point where it's kind of like, okay, something's got to give, something's got to change. Because clearly the open, honest, vulnerable communication is kind of causing a little bit of conflict. Don't know what that's about, but it feels like it's between everyone. They're saying, is this truly ultimately the path for me? Ooh, wow, 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 wow. Yeah, they have a lot to take care of. They have a lot to take care of. At the same time, because of how much they have to take care of, they're being very kind of like common sense about this. Like, well, it is what it is. I'm just going to drop it if I need to drop it. Ultimately, they're kind of like saying, though, even though they are making this decision regarding commitment, whether it be between the two of you, I mean, I'm looking at 555. I believe I saw that for one sign earlier today. Might have been actually you, Aries, unless you're dealing with yourself or maybe another Aries. I believe it's all fives, 5555. But of course, they're trying to figure out what to do it for themselves. They're ultimately kind of saying, I need to figure out my path. I need to kind of figure out truly what I need to do about all this and everyone. And so they're going to do that. But of course, if you are dealing with anyone, you could be dealing with a fire sign, an air sign, a water sign, or an earth sign. They're all here. Hello, Sagittarius. Let's see what's going on. Whew. Okay, this is quite interesting. Wow, okay, this is very, very quite interesting. This is an energy, Sagittarius, of whoever this is you're dealing with. How do I say this? It almost seems and feels like I'm like energetically even calling them out to bring this up. It's an energy of kind of like work and career, right? You're going to your job, you're going to your workplace. It's kind of like saying you can have a very hard day at home within a living situation. Things can be very tough or difficult financially. But because, you know, it's work, it's your career, it's what you do to make money and bring in income and security, they're having to literally kind of put on their work face. Because they're showing me initially right out the gate, they are not happy about anything. It's almost the energy of they have some cutting words to say, some cutting opinions or judgments to make. But because they know that they're at work or they kind of have to do work, they need to kind of like put on that persona in a sense and kind of do their job. They're showing that they're trying to figure out what to do, whether it's to communicate or say something to you about the living situation or just about how things are going financially. Could be everything and all the above. Yeah, because ultimately deep down, they're not happy. They're not happy. And that's what it's all about. It's kind of like saying, why is that person so opinionated and judgmental? It's because deep down, they're not happy with themselves. Kind of like they want to point out all the flaws and the imperfections in others to kind of make themselves feel better. Yeah, and once again, deep down, it just gets deeper. It just gets deeper, Sagittarius. They're saying like it's very upsetting. It's very disappointing. They're lost. They're confused. There's a lot of anxiety and stress kicking up. And again, that's exactly what I was talking about. They present themselves this way because of all these things. It's something deep down personally that within them that they're having to kind of face and deal with. Kind of like bring out the darkness. Some might even say, well, I'm not going to go there, but bring out those, I guess I will say it, bring out those demons. Bring out those mental demons. They're all in your head. It's how they go. It's causing that fixation on top of this. It's kind of like saying, if you just stay in your head a little bit too long and become fixated and kind of lock onto something, you begin to kind of create this energy of stir crazy. It's like, in a sense, the mental walls are closing in. Oh, goodness gracious, man. It just doesn't kind of, you know, get better. Okay, it does get better. It does get better. I think they're having that realization. I feel like they're having that realization with themselves. It's kind of like, this is not good. This is not healthy. I cannot sit in this headspace for very too long. Because very quickly they're kind of like, I need to be done with this. I need to be done with this. I need to close something out. I need to be finished with something. It seems and feels like things are kind of, in a sense, ramping up in a negative direction. And they're saying, done with it. Just be done with it. Just close that door. Just don't play around, in a sense. Don't play around. Nice. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Take some time for you, cross-watcher. Take some time for you. And what I like about this is it's not allowing your thoughts to kind of control or consume you. It's an energy of, you know, thoughts come and go, so do emotions. In a sense, it's kind of like saying, well, I'm not going to go there either today. It's not a lesson, but they're showing me that they still have so much going on here that is kind of like worth keeping track of, worth keeping tabs on. And I feel like, once again, it goes back to their work and their career. Maybe it's something just energetic between the two of you. It's a very nurturing energy, which I do like to see, because it's kind of like saying, okay, you're done having your fun now. Okay, let's take life seriously and let's not just play around and find out. Take some time for you, rest, recover, and just get your mind right. And then we'll figure out what we need to do kind of moving forward from here. But of course, if you are dealing with anyone, you could be dealing with an air sign, an earth sign. I believe that's it, yeah. Hello, Leo. Let's see what's going on. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. I mean, very direct and straightforward. This person is definitely accomplished and successful at quite a bit they got going on for themselves. And they have these big plans for everything that they've kind of done. They are showing up very clear and direct as to what these plans are and what they want to kind of move forward with. And they're just moving forward with it. Like I said, just very direct and to the point. Oh, goodness. Hopefully not that. We'll see where this goes. Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not that. Hopefully, goodness gracious. I mean, you know, to each their own. There you are, Leo, on top of the deck. To each their own. If you want to kind of pull that stunt, you can pull that stunt. It may come back to you and bite, but I don't know. They definitely are trying to formulate some sort of plan here that they have in mind clearly. But ultimately, they're kind of showing me that whatever this plan is, they're just not too 100% exact or sure on it. At the same time, they feel like emotionally, there definitely is something kind of like worth kind of like putting on pause, kind of waiting for. And I feel like for them, it's an energy of whatever this is that they've, in a sense, have taken action for, whatever this movement is or direction, they're having to kind of like wing it. They're having to kind of put this together on the spot or as they're in motion. But things are ramping up here real quick. Things are ramping up real quick. Yeah, and there's the Tower. Absolutely. Ramping up real quick. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. Earthquake. Earthquake. That's an earthquake. Frazzled. Someone just, jeez Louise. It's interesting because they were waiting for this, and then all of a sudden, it's almost like, do they move forward with this? Do they just kind of drop it? Do they let it go? For some reason, they're frazzled about it, though. It's almost like the longer they sat with something themselves, or possibly even sat with themselves, they realize something, and then it's like they get overly defensive about it. Goodness, that is that's a shocking wake-up call. That's a shocking wake-up call. Interesting, though. They still feel like there's so much worth fighting for. They're just not too, they're just not too sure exactly how this is all going to kind of come together. They have quite a bit of a process here, which is nice because it does open up some sort of door for them. And I feel like maybe that's what it was all about. They were saying that there's some sort of drastic switch or change, having to kind of like usher something out in order to usher something new in financially for themselves. There definitely is something going on for them. Ooh, they don't know though. They don't know. Why does it? It almost has the energy of like in transition of some sort. Something is transitioning. Because they show me that whatever this new financial opportunity that does open up for them, it kind of puts everything else on hold for the time being. And they're not too sure exactly emotionally whether or not they want to move forward with this or not, but they still strongly believe that the circumstances or kind of situation can change in their favor. Ooh, okay. I wonder what that is. I wonder what that is. There's definitely some sort of contact and communication between the two of you about this. It's almost like, are they wanting to give you good news about this? Are they wanting to share this with you or make you an offer? I don't exactly know. But whatever this is, it's almost like it has this energy of like someone bringing something to you. And I don't know what that's about. It's like something they found or something they discovered or something they created for themselves. They're kind of like, here, Leo. Don't know what that is, whether it's an idea, whether it's a job, what that is. But of course, if you are dealing with anyone, you could be dealing with an air sign, a fire sign, an earth sign, or water. They're all here. Hello, Gemini. Let's see what's going on. All right. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, interesting. A little bit interesting. Kind of like interesting turn of events. Okay, Gemini, jumping into this, what they do show me there is quite a bit of anxiety, and I mean quite a bit. So much anxiety to they are completely closed off. I'll say it twice, closed off. They're 3 times. To the point where they're even guarding and protecting themselves. And this is definitely regarding some sort of commitment, relationship, or marriage between the two of you. But what I do find very fascinating is, even though this is more so in the direction of focusing on this connection, things in the situation are kind of ramping up here, and I'm not too sure what this is about. It's almost the equivalent of something going a little bit south regarding the connection, And so their mind and their focus is kind of like trying to, in a sense, make the best out of it. What I find very fascinating is there seems to be something here regarding financial opportunity from the situation. I don't know if they're trying to gain from the connection, gain from the relationship, marriage. I don't know. But this is something that they've definitely sat with and taken some time about. Like, is this an opportunity or not? To kind of like make something from this. I don't know. Oh, goodness. Okay. That's a little brutal. That's a little brutal. This is interesting. Yeah, it's financial. It's financial. That's fascinating. Ultimately, this is interesting. It's like they're giving me this energy of whether this is, like I said, loved one, significant other, or maybe family. It's almost the equivalent of whatever this opportunity they feel like it's kind of like they've missed out on, or they're missing, or it's like they thought there would have been more to come from the connection. I don't exactly know. They're saying that whatever that is, they're not letting that go. They're not letting that go. It's like, no, I'm not going to drop this. It's almost like they feel like, no, they can kind of still turn things around in their favor. And they're definitely working on putting something together for themselves, but it's almost out of like a grudge or resentment. Oh, geez Louise. Okay. Yeah, there's the devil. Drink responsibly or don't drink at all. Yeah, that's something of that's like, well, I'm working on something. I'm concocting something. Yeah, their emotional energy just completely switches like from over here to over here. It's like they're closed off over here. Now it's kind of like they're loosey-goosey over here. And not only that, it's kind of like, yes, in a sense, they are in their emotions and in their feels. So it has brought up something. At the same time, it's bringing in something else along with it. Yeah, and there's that as well, Gemini. Picture says 1,000 words. Yeah, and once again, it's about money, work, and position. Because what they're saying is their position, their status, whatever's going on with their whatever. They're like, well, I'll figure it out because everything's looking not so great. I'll figure it out, but is that an energy of like cutting corners, or like, what is that? I don't know. Oh, they decided to drop it. And that's what I was wondering. It's like, you're gonna move forward with that. They're like, no, drop it. I feel like it was like, no, I'll figure it out somehow. I'll figure it out some other way. Okay. There could be third-party influence in this. Yeah, there's third-party influence in this. That's why. That's why. They're kind of saying, I'm looking out for my own financial benefit, but I'm doing my work. Yeah, they're doing their work, but they got wandering eyes. Of course, if you are dealing with anyone, you could be dealing with a fire sign, a water sign, an earth sign, and that is all. Hello, Aquarius. Let's see what's going on. All right. Ooh, wow. I think that's something. Goodness gracious. Wow. I'll keep pushing this a little bit. Oh my goodness. Right back into it. Right back into the ring, Aquarius. Wow. I'm not too sure what to make out of that. This is an energy of there are definitely some highs and there are some lows, and there's some highs and there's some lows. Things in their situation are moving very quickly, and I'm not too sure if this is something going on between the two of you, because there definitely is some sort of altercations here, and I mean repeated altercations. Things are moving so very quickly for them. I'm not too sure if this is their communication and contact between the two of you or just their circumstances, but something here is deeply painful. They are well aware of it. They are working on healing from it, releasing it. But what's very fascinating is they're giving me the equivalent of whatever this is that they wanted. I feel like this may have been intentional, because they're showing me on one end they are getting what they want. Even though it's very painful, they are getting what they want. At the same time, it's very disappointing and kind of upsetting. They're having to kind of like leave something behind, maybe leave someone behind. I don't exactly know. They don't know where things are going moving forward from this point. And even they're kind of like, I'm not too sure exactly what to think about this. They're kind of putting something off. I'm not too sure what this is about. I kind of feel like they are, in a sense, trying to kind of like find shortcuts of how to make this, you know, make sense. That's exactly what that is, shortcuts. They're like, well, I don't really necessarily want to do the work myself. Let me just kind of like find out some other way as to how this is all happening, why it's all happening. And even then they are having some sort of realization. They're right back into the same circle again, conflicted over what they're realizing. Looking at 555. I've seen this 3 times today. 3 times today. A lot is going on. A lot is going on. Yeah, and that's what I was kind of wondering. It's like the energy of that they're not truly 100% wanting to reflect on whatever has taken place. It's an energy of you can take a shortcut now and find out the hard lesson later. It's the equivalent of, great, you got your answer, but now you're going to learn the very difficult lessons to how to find that answer. They're having to pick up the pieces and move forward. They're having to acknowledge themselves emotionally, and unfortunately, because they didn't really want to take the time for themselves on themselves to work this out, now they're having to. Like I said, it's an energy of you can't necessarily run from yourself. You can't run from your thoughts. You can't run from your emotions, and they're coming back around. And there it is. They're going through an awakening. Yeah, they got something going on for themselves, though. They're working on putting something together. I kind of feel like, in the sense, they are working on building themselves back up. They are just wanting to kind of like move forward, leave all this behind, and do whatever is just necessary for them. Okay, what's that about? Ooh. Still don't know what that's about. They don't really want to tell me. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. You win some, you lose some. You win some, you lose some. Yeah, you win some, you lose some. They're having to very quickly on the spot make a decision as to what they're going to do, how they're going to move forward, what they're going to move forward with, whether these plans are, in a sense, good enough. I feel like they're in the process of just figuring it out for themselves, literally. I'm not too sure what this was about, kind of moving forward and leaving this behind, but that's what their focus and their goal is. They're saying it seems like it was a huge, drastic change that it felt a little bit risky, but a little bit anxiety-filled as well, but they are doing what they can to kind of keep that balance. Don't know. Of course, if you are dealing with anyone, you could be dealing with a water sign, an earth sign, and that is all. Hello, Libra. Let's see what's going on. All right. There you are. right, Libra. So jumping into the interesting, same energy. Whoever this is you're asking about, they're definitely listening to themselves. I'm not too sure exactly what is going on, but they are going through something very difficult. I feel like they are having to kind of like walk away from either a very conflicting time, situation, or manner. I don't exactly know what that's about. It could have been something financial. It could have just been how they're thinking about everything. At the same time, they're also kind of saying intuitively just feels correct to start or try something new or different, maybe go on a new path, maybe kind of like rethink about their plans for the future. They're having a realization about this. I feel like something is kind of like settling or sinking in. And because of that, they're kind of saying regarding these plans for the future that they are working on and putting together for themselves, they're clearly not wanting to mess that up. They're being very direct about that. Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. I feel like it's big plans for work and career. They're definitely putting their heart and soul into this. What's interesting about this is there's definitely some sort of collaborative energy here between the two of you. So like minds, maybe in the same workplace, maybe co-workers, colleagues, don't exactly know. But I feel like the two of you are definitely kind of focused on something together regarding the future. Maybe this is what all it was all about. Maybe there was some sort of financial loss or difficulty. Oh, goodness gracious. Well, what is going on there, Libra? They're being savage today. They're just being outright savage today with it, Libra. Unfortunately, I got to show you it. That they're kind of like, yeah, the connection between me and Libra, it's strictly work. It's strictly like professional. And they're kind of like, they understand and have that clarity to go along with it. There may have been a connection there between the two of you at one time, but ultimately it's an energy of, even if you guys are working on, working together for the sake of the connection, it's just not it. It's just not it. They're having that realization. Like they're pretty much saying like it is what it is. It's work and nothing else. It is what it is. And there you are. And so they might even be, telling you this truth, unfortunately, Libra. Yeah, they're kind of like saying, let's keep it focused on work. Let's keep it focused on business. Let's even though it's interesting, even though they do kind of show me that they put their heart and their soul into their work, they're kind of like saying it's not about me, it's not about my emotions, it's not about my feelings, it's about the work that we need to get done. Okay. They're kind of okay, they're being stern, they're being serious. I feel like there's lots to contemplate, there's lots to consider here, and ultimately there has been some sort of, like, again, some sort of drastic change. So because of all this change, they themselves are changing too. Yeah, they're like something is over with. Something has run its course, and I feel like whatever this shift is that's going on within them, but it's also playing a key or major role between the connection of collaborative energy between the two of you. They're saying it's done with, leave it, drop it, it's over. And they're literally just leaving it at that, Libra. Like things are a whole lot different now. But of course, if you are dealing with anyone, you could be dealing with a water sign, an earth sign, an air sign, and that is all. Hello, Cancer. Let's see what's going on. All right. Oh, goodness. Okay. Well, right away, Cancer, they do show me some sort of connection, relationship, friendship, maybe related. It could be, it could not be. I don't exactly know what this connection is. They're kind of showing me that it's like a little iffy. They feel as if things right now between the two of you, literally, there are some problems and there are some issues, and it just seems like, is this going anywhere? Is this not going anywhere? There's these problems and these issues they're definitely wanting to address. They are saying that there is a connection there, but there's also problems and issues about how things are kind of moving forward. Goodness, why that though? I don't feel like they're telling you everything. I don't feel like they're telling you everything. I'm not too sure if this is an energy of like I said, what this type of connection is, whether it's a colleague, a co-worker, friend. It definitely kind of has the energy of collaborative partner energy attached to it, but it's almost like they're kind of like wanting to give you a little bit, but not let you in on everything that they're feeling, what they're going through internally. But there is this collaborative energy between the two of you to kind of like keep things on track or keep things kind of orderly. Maybe they just kind of don't feel comfortable enough opening up that much. I don't know. Goodness, I don't know about that. Interesting. It feels as if initially they're trusting themselves about this, but that's what I'm not quite understanding. Is they definitely have some sort of plan here in mind. But it just seems and feels like they just kind of drop it, whether this was something that the two of you were kind of coming up together or whether they were coming up on their own. They just choose to drop it. But at the same time, them choosing to drop it, internally speaking, they are going through it. They are going through it. It's almost like what little plan or idea they thought they had going, because that's no longer there. Now it's kind of like they're left with nothing but their thoughts, and it's kind of driving them a little crazy. Oh, geez. Okay. Throw a chunk. Maybe they'll just kind of throw it out all on the table eventually. Maybe they won't. Maybe they're trying to like manage and take care of too much. I don't know. Kind of keep everything going up in the air all at once, and then it's like, gonna have to decide what's priority and what's kind of focused on majority wise. They're making some shifts around, and I kind of feel like that's what it's all about. It's interesting because they do show me that they are beginning to feel a little bit more confident as to what these changes are. At the same time, they are wanting to kind of buy their time a bit. And I mean buy their time a bit. They're moving quick and they're thinking quick and kind of like thinking on the fly. I feel like for them in the meantime, they're kind of working with what works in the meantime until they kind of come up with some sort of better idea or better plan. Oh, geez. Okay. Well, there's that. Yeah, it's regarding work. It's regarding career, regarding possibly in the workplace, finances, investments. Yeah, that's definitely something I kind of feel like whatever this inspiration is that they are kind of discovering, I feel like that's what they're waiting on. They're waiting on inspiration, but it's more so like an inspiration to, how do I explain this? Inspiration to light their path forward. And they're kind of like that is what that's something they were looking for or seeking or searching for, but they're moving forward with it and they're saying this, I can kind of do this. Let's see what this is. It's a little bit new and different, but we'll go with it. Of course, if you are dealing with anyone, you could be dealing with an earth sign, an air sign, or a fire sign. Hello, Scorpio. Let's see what's going on. see. Okay. I feel like the two of you are kind of just hanging out. It's interesting. Whether someone is making someone an offer or financial offer, I'm not too sure. It definitely kind of feels that way. Like someone is like presenting something to someone. Feels like a job opportunity, but we'll see. And I kind of feel like that's the overall energy they're in as well. It's like they want to take that next step and step up. At the same time, they're kind of like, well, here it is. We'll see. Things are definitely progressing and moving forward very quickly, and I feel like they're wanting to kind of stay on top or stay ahead of this. And so at the same time, they're having to think very quickly as to kind of how to implement this or put this into action. I feel like whatever this is that's been presented, they're looking at what they currently got going on or what's currently in place. And it's almost like they're trying to figure out how to kind of like integrate it into whatever this is, whether it be a financial investment, whether it be something between the two of you, don't exactly know. In a sense, they're trying to figure out what to do with it. I feel like it's work and finances. Yeah, it's finances. They're definitely coming up with something they seem quite happy and fulfilled about. At the same time, though, they seem happy with it, but for some reason, they seem to be waiting kind of like, I feel like for results or something. Oh, geez. Okay. Goodness gracious. Okay, so what they're saying is even, geez, they're literally giving me the words, I will not abandon the ship. I will not abandon the ship. Whatever ship that is, whether it's a friendship, relationship, whether it's a financial ship in a sense, the terms of, you know, how things are moving forward financially, I'm not abandoning it. At the same time, they're being kind of, how do I say this? They're being real, you know, real selective and a little bit stubborn about it, but, you know, they have their reasons. Okay. No, they feel like they have it handled. They feel like they have it handled and taken care of. They're just kind of like, let me look at this. Let me assess things real quick. Literally, let me look at it real quick. Let me look at it and see like why it's going the way it is, why it's happening the way it is. Interesting. A balance between what they want and desire with the circumstances. Okay, where's this going? It's a nice energy, though. It is a nice energy. Ooh, it is between the two of you. That's what I kind of thought. Okay. A little bit different. What is this? There's definitely some sort of relationship here between the two of you, clearly, possibly a marriage. But right away, I just saw 444. Right away, they're looking out kind of like for themselves and their happiness regarding the financial investment. But I'm not too sure exactly what's going on regarding the connection between the two of you. Oh, and that's what I was kind of wondering. They're like, I need some time on that. I don't know what that's about, Scorpio, but they're ultimately kind of saying, yeah, regarding that, with the lovers on top of the deck, and regarding that commitment, they have a lot to kind of sit with and kind of contemplate, as well as figure out internally about where they're at emotionally and mentally with the ship between the two of you. So, of course, if you are dealing with anyone, you could be dealing with a fire sign, an air sign, an earth sign, or a water. They're all here. Hello, Pisces. Let's see what's going on. Interesting. Well, there you are, Pisces, showing up, so they're clearly aware of you. Oh, wow. Goodness gracious. How does that work? I'm not too sure what that's about. That's kind of a fascinating energy. What they show me initially, Pisces, is there's a little bit of uncertainty here regarding direction as to how things are moving forward, or just in the sense of what their direction or what their aim is. It almost seems and feels like they are moving forward with something here, but even it's like there's a little bit of internal conflict about this. It's almost the equivalent of whatever this direction is that things are moving, they're not fully 100% in a sense at peace with it. There's something still going on internally within them, and what they're kind of saying is because of this, there's something going on mentally that they're trying to kind of assess and be okay with or put behind them. I feel like it's in the process. At the same time, I feel like there's something regarding between the two of you that is causing kind of things to be up in the air regarding plans for the future. Even though there is this collaborative energy between the two of you, maybe this is what it's about: work, finances, career, I don't exactly know. They're willing to work with you on something, but it's almost, well, we'll see where this kind of goes. A little bit interesting. Oh, wow, okay. It's work, it's financial, it's work. Jeez Louise. Just like that, huh? Yeah, they're like, yeah, just like that. Well, collaboratively speaking, Pisces, they're saying that there is no future between the two of you, collaboratively speaking. They're kind of like saying the two of you, yes, are in a sense of like getting ready to kind of like finish something up here business-wise, but they're saying like once this is done, it's done. There's no future in a sense about how things are moving forward. Because whatever this closure is between the two of you, it could be co-worker, colleague, whatever it is, financial partners, whatever, they're kind of saying that there's something they need to figure out on their own. And ultimately, with the way that they are addressing and acknowledging things, they are showing up quite confident at that as to whatever this is they are kind of piecing together or putting together for themselves. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. They feel pretty confident about it. At the same time, I kind of feel like once again it goes back to that direction. There's lots to contemplate here as to when to take action, what to do, what not to do. It's almost as if they're taking a step back and then taking another step back. But as they're taking a step back, it's interesting because as they're taking a step back from this, it's almost like they're taking on a different, more, how do I say this, a more responsible role in the situation. It's kind of like I've considered the small details as well as the full picture and the frame as well. That they've really kind of stepped back from this to gain more perspective and clarity as to what needs to be done. Interesting. That might be why, though. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, so... That's what I'm looking at. This collaborative energy between the two of you, there definitely is, how do I say this? It almost seems to be like a, how do I say this? It's the equivalent of someone taking a step back to be noticed or to be recognized. At the same time, what's interesting about this is there's definitely some sort of communication taking place between the two of you. But whatever the communication is taking place between the two of you, it's almost like who's playing who at this point. It's this game of like hot, cold, hot, cold. Like, are they going to pay attention to me and notice me, or are they not? Or am I going to have to give them a little bit of attention so that they notice me or not? It's like, I don't know here. This is interesting. Yeah, hot, cold, hot, cold. Whew, yeah. I don't know what that's about. It's the, geez Louise, They're fumbling something, Pisces. They're fumbling something. They're showing me that this overall energy of confidence about, I'm not sure exactly what this is aiming at, but for some reason, all of this is for the sake of their accomplishment, their success, and their status or their position, if you will. And I feel like whatever this communication is, it's almost like someone here is getting wind or drift of that. And it's almost like, it's kind of like, there is a little bit of an energetic swerve here, and it kind of puts, again, the burden or the pressure back on them, which they are making changes about, but ultimately they're going through a little bit of a rude awakening. I don't know what that's about. I don't. But they are stressing out about it. So, of course, if you are dealing with anyone, you could be dealing with a fire sign, water sign, or earth sign. Hello, Capricorn. Let's see what's going on. All right. Ooh, okay. Okay. Right away, I hear the words, they are in a flow state. And I mean a flow state. It's like they're leaning into this. I'm not too sure exactly what's going on or changing or transitioning for them, but they're leaning into it. They're strongly believing in where they're headed, and they're kind of like saying, I'm focused on the newness. Whatever that means, the newness. They're all about kind of like putting things behind them, moving forward. Oh, goodness gracious. What is that about, though? Jeez. Wow, that's, huh. How fascinating. How very fascinating. They're showing me this contradicting energy of they're getting what they want, they're getting their happiness, they're getting their fulfillment. But whatever this overall energy is about moving forward and putting something behind them, it's almost the equivalent of doing something they don't yet mentally or emotionally understand for the sake of like the outcome or the result. Like, in a sense, the end justifies the means. But yet at the same time that they're still kind of like unsure of themselves. It's like, okay, well, yeah, that unsure of themselves. They're like, interesting. It's a very interesting energy. Like I said, very contradicting. They're kind of like, I want to move forward, but it's interesting because their mindset and their perspective of wanting to move forward, they're not even on board with their own mindset and perspective. It's like, do you hear the words that are coming out of your mouth, or are you just blah, blah, blah? Because they're showing me like, well, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm in control of myself, but I don't know what else to do. I'm not too sure my direction. I feel like it's just best to kind of like or close this door and be done with it. Give me something they got going on with their work, career, finances. Don't know. Yeah, that's. They're showing me two different. They're showing me two different. A pendulum swing of emotions and thoughts. I don't know what that's about, Capricorn, but this is very difficult for me to even kind of like track or follow. It seems like, are they doing this? Are they not doing that? It's like the decisions or the things they tell themselves that they're going to do, they're not on board with it. The energies that they show me that they're in, they're not fully on board with it. It's like it's there for a split second or a blip, and then it's gone. there's definitely some sort of communication between the two of you, and it's like it seems and feels like it brings a lot of happiness, but then a split second later it's like, nope, just kidding. I don't know what that's about. Contradicting, very contradicting. Capricorn, this is an energy of they're willing to take and not give back, literally. They're willing to take and not give back to the situation, but then they kind of like, it almost kind of has the energy of sabotage attached to it. They're willing to take, not give back to it, but then they turn around and wonder like why something's not like progressing or growing or changing for the better. Kind of like saying, I don't know, I'll eat the fruit of the tree, but I'm not going to focus on giving it nutrients or watering it or whatever it is. But then I'm wondering why nothing else is producing. I don't know. But of course, if you are dealing with anyone, you could be dealing with a water sign, an air sign, or a fire sign. Hello, Taurus. Let's see what's going on. All right. Excuse me. Drink responsibly. Be like the first one today, Taurus. Okay, what they show me initially, there definitely is this energy of kind of buying their time and sitting with things. I feel like they are internalizing something here and kind of working through something, processing, and I feel like it's ultimately what they want to kind of say, communicate, or discuss with you. And unfortunately, whatever this talk or discussion is, they're not happy about it. They're not happy about it at all. I don't know if it's something that, you know, came out through communication, or if it's just something that was said, what that is, or just the way things are kind of moving forward. Yeah. Disappointing, yes. At the same time, what's fascinating is something financially is opening up for them. This could be about money and work, but it starts off very quickly and then kind of like slows down into this, okay, well, whatever this financial opportunity is, it definitely feels like it's like a new job opportunity, like new line of work, new career, that sort of thing, because they're definitely want to kind of like just take that risk for it and move with it. Ooh, okay. Understandable. Very understandable. Yeah, work. It's about work. Could be a new job opportunity. If not, I feel like it is a job opportunity. It feels very familiar to them. But how do I express this? It's familiar to them. They haven't quite let go of it yet. It's kind of like it's something that's like, in a sense, like a lifetime project. It's something they may have started back then. Maybe they never continued with it or kept with it. Maybe they kind of like changed around a couple things and, you know, switched jobs or careers. I don't know. But they're trying to figure out how to take something that is familiar to them and turn it into something new and different, but also at the same time beneficial for themselves financially. And they're doing everything they can to kind of like, yeah, they're doing everything they can to kind of figure this out. Because what they're saying is their job, their work, their career, position, or status right now isn't quite cutting it. And even though it's kind of like, it feels like things are going a little bit sideways, they're getting a little defensive about it. It definitely makes sense. It's there's something here definitely worth fighting for and defending, which I feel like, again, is that financial opportunity regarding something they are familiar with. There's a lot, and I mean a heavy focus being placed upon this. Someone's like, no, I'm not going to drop this. I'm not going to. Ooh, okay, goodness. The connection between the two of you fits in there somehow. Wow, okay. So is this, let's see. Is it the connection between the two of you that they're focused on? It could be. It could be. If that's the case, this is definitely someone you may have worked with or collaborated with from the past. But what's interesting is it's almost like there they are focusing on their work and do whatever they need to do. Then it's almost like temptation steps in regarding the connection with the two of you. Now they're kind of like, well, now I don't know what to do. Now I'm not too sure what to think. Now I'm really, and it's like now they're kind of like thrown off emotionally and mentally, even with themselves, as to what their overall plan is moving forward, whether it's between the two of you romantically or financially, either or. It's like, yeah, a little bit of a curveball. A little bit of a curveball. Yeah, they're guarded. Yeah, they're guarded. Ooh. Looks like you got a bit of a juggle here, Taurus. You got a juggle. Right next to each other at that. But they're showing me they definitely don't want to kind of like drop things. They would definitely want to continue working on things and pursuing whatever this is, even though they're not too sure exactly what the future may hold, whether it's for the two of you or whether it's something financial for themselves. I feel like it's a little bit of both. They are leaning towards the energy of acceptance and surrendering to this to kind of figure out, like, you know, I don't know what the future holds, but I'm going to go along with it, even though I don't feel fully 100% in control of the direction things are going, whether it's, again, between the two of you romantically, friendship, collaborative, don't know. But of course, if you are dealing with anyone, you could be dealing with a water sign, a fire sign, an earth sign, and that's all. Hello, Virgo. Let's see what's going on. All right. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, well, right away, Virgo, what they're showing me is there definitely is a lot of work being placed upon something here. And it's interesting because even they're not kind of showing me. It's fascinating. It's like a lot of the work and effort that they are placing upon, whether it's something between the two of you romantically or whether it's something between the two of you financially, I don't exactly know. What's interesting is they're kind of showing me that all this work and this effort, they're waiting to see like what comes about because of all this. I'll say it, they're keeping a very sharp eye and on the lookout for this. But it's like as they're analyzing and as they're assessing things, they're almost taken back by the situation. And what they're kind of saying is all this work and this effort that they're putting in, it doesn't feel like things are even still in balance. I don't know what that's about. It may be in the process, but okay, that's interesting. They want it that way. Unfortunately, Virgo, they want it that way. They're kind of saying things are not fair, things are not balanced. They're okay with it. Like, I know things are ramping up, I know things are picking up pace here, but I am sitting like a cool cucumber. Somehow they're saying that this is what makes them happy. They're like, nothing's going on. Yeah, I don't know what this is about, but Okay, that's interesting. I'll go a little bit more with this. This is so fascinating, Virgo. For some reason, whatever this connection is between the two of you, or whoever you're asking about, I'm not seeing anything like quite directly between the two of you yet. This overall energy of things not being fair and equal. This is what it kind of allows them to feel recognized, seen. It's almost like whether it's all for attention, I don't exactly know. But this overall energy of attention and recognition, that's something that they're kind of like, it's mine. It's mine. That it's interesting because that's where they kind of feel like that's where they feel love, and that's what I find very interesting about this is they're kind of like saying that's where I feel love, whether it's for themselves, whether it's for the situation, that's where they feel literally in control, and that's what they're saying they intuitively feel okay about. Okay, so they say that they're doing something for them. I don't know what's going on there, though. There's new love there, and I'm not too sure what that's about. It could be like for someone, but even there, it's like they are in the process of making changes and shifting some things around, but even they're not too sure exactly where it'll go. They're like, don't know. They're buying their time. They're buying their time, Virgo. Oh, and they're stressing about that too. They're stressing. They're saying they have a lot of responsibility to kind of upkeep and take care of, but ultimately, when it comes to direction as to how interesting, something works out for them here, but then it's almost like now that they're trying to progress and move forward with it over here, they don't know. It's almost like they're kind of like going in their own little spiral, and I don't know what that's about. They're trying to focus on their direction, where they want to take things. At the same time, emotionally, things take a turn emotionally very, very quickly. And then they're trying to have to like process this and work on this and figure out where they're truly at with it mentally and emotionally. And they're showing up like stressed, highly stressed. So I don't know what that's about. But of course, if you are dealing with anyone, you could be dealing with a fire sign, a water sign, or air sign.